I can't say I'm a native Oregonian because I didn't grow up here. I was born in upstate New York in a small town called Vestal. It's a suburb of Binghamton.
I think I've known Shane about 7 or 8 years. We met in a bar drinking and bonded over how nobody could say the name of our hometown correctly except for people from that town. It's Binghamton, by the way. And everyone calls it Binghamton. And yeah, we drank to that and been friends ever since.
I moved from Vestal, New York to San Jose, California, and I went to high school in San Jose, California, where I marched with the Oak Grove Band and Color Guard. I also marched with the world champion Drum and Bugle Corps, Santa Clara Vanguard. And I went to college in Southern Oregon.
I've known Shane for about 17, 18 years. Met Shane at SOU, Southern Oregon University in Ashland, Oregon, in the dorms.
I graduated there with a BA in criminology. After I graduated Southern Oregon in 2000, I moved to Portland area. I lived in Beaverton first. I've lived at Ripplebrook, Oregon. I lived in Government Camp. I've pretty much lived all over Portland. I've lived in Southwest, North Portland, Southeast. I guess I first started working in Oregon when I was 19. I worked for a program called the Rogue River Resource Team. We were based out of Applegate Lake on the Ashland Ranger District. I worked with an AmeriCorps program. I got an internship working with at-risk youth. And then I worked at a youth shelter. In the summer times, I fought fire with the U.S. Forest Service, and I got a job at this place called the Christie School.
I've known Shane for 15 years. I know Shane from working at the Christie School. The Christie School was a residential treatment center for kids that are severely emotionally disturbed.
For the last 10 years, I've been working in the service industry as a server.
I've known Shane for probably about 9 years. We worked together in a crazy restaurant.
One of the things I love doing here in Oregon is snowboarding. We have some good mountains. I love backpacking. I love hiking. I recently just completed a 450-mile hike on the Oregon Pacific Crest Trail. That was a lot of fun. I have so many stories about Oregon, it's not even funny. To try to pick one is really, really hard.
Yeah, short story. Last Labor Day, Shane and I went hiking in the Mount Hood Wilderness. Rained the entire time. Rained like 20 minutes in. It's a 2-day hike. 20 minutes in, completely soaking wet. Only one pair of shoes. Socks were wet. Stuff inside the bag's wet. And he's like, "Oh, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine." And we were walking along a narrow. It was a cliff, really, and it was a 100-foot drop. And I took a step. Didn't realize it was all muddy because of the amount of rain, and slipped in there and almost fell over the cliff, but Shane actually saved my life, so I owe my life.
There's a set of trails in the hills of Ashland called the Wonderland Trails, and it was wandering adventures through those hills with Shane, and some more intoxicated than others, but definitely some good wanderings.
I think my favorite story is when we were working one night and one of the kids had to go to his room for acting out, and we were having it was a goodbye party for one of the other kids, and we had birthday cake, and the supervisor at the time said that he probably shouldn't get cake because he had missed the party, so I had to go up and tell him that he wasn't going to get cake, and he shut the door on me, and then later he came out of his room and he called to me and he said, "I have a present for you." And I said, "Okay, thanks." And so I opened up the present, and inside of it was poop wrapped up in his homework.
Currently, I'm attending Mount Hood Community College. I'm in the integrated media program.
I started in 1988, so like 26, 27 years. I think I'm on my 27th year. I started in January of 88. It was an integrated media. I started as an instructor and managed a grant to teach community television. While there's a lot of things you can do in camera and in edit, in post and production, if you haven't done the right enough work in pre-production, then it doesn't matter how good you are. The best exposure in the world, if it isn't connected to a good story, isn't going to work. It's really tough to make a living as a filmmaker. The obstacles are really pretty much things you place in your way, because there's nothing stopping us. It's wide open. It's the Wild West.
So am I a native Oregonian? No, but I lived most of my life here, and I feel I belong here.
My name is Jeffrey Winters.
A ferret is a weasel.
I dropped the poop, obviously.
In the environment that we work in, you have to be a survivalist.
When you get done with that, Chance, could you stuff that curly cord back into the boom?